Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, WWE Road to WrestleMania Countdown. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi, friends. It's Desiree Josen.
We're counting down the best WWE Road to WrestleMania arcs, the ones that started at Rumble, ran through Elimination Chamber, and delivered at WrestleMania. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
I love this. I think it should be talked about just to remind us of how good some of these Rumble wins are and how they impacted just the road to Mania and just pure amazing storytelling. And, explain what's wrong with us as fans as to why, we like good stuff and then we have our opinions on when things don't go right.
Listen, this was way more fun to do in the pregame, just kind of going through our research because there's been so many fun road to Manias, and that's the one thing I'll have to say. I love it. We're going to have so much fun this episode.
Yeah.
All right, Des, kicking things off, what's your number 5 road to WrestleMania arc?
Okay, this one is very cliche, but we talked about it in multiple episodes before, but it's the Cody Rhodes win of 2024. I just feel like that one is probably the most relevant one, where we got disappointed in 2023 where he did win, but nothing came from it. And that was an example of what not to do. And then 2024 with him winning and then just carrying on the narrative of we have to finish this story. He's Dusty's son. He came back as a new person in his own brand, and now he's going to be the face of the company, and he finally got it at WrestleMania. And what a pop of when he did win. Everyone coming around, everyone running out from the back, parading and celebrating him, and fans were emotional. So I feel like that was one of them that really showed how to do something from start to finish. And it's cheesy, I get it, that storyline just makes me laugh a little bit, but it was a good start to finish.
It's definitely not cheesy because it's on my list. So. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's definitely on my list. It was definitely one of the best storylines in recent WWE history, in my humble opinion, and the crowd just loved it too. So, it's just so cool that fans that love Dusty, his brother Goldust or Dustin Rhodes, and then now Cody, I loved it, every single moment of it. So, all right, my number 5. And I'm going to say this now, the Mania didn't live up, but that's no one's fault. But this is, I'm going 2020. Drew McIntyre becomes the guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say that because I know this. I had a feeling this may surprise you, but here's the thing. We talked about this in a previous episode where Drew McIntyre at one point in time was part of the 3-man band. It was awful. He eliminates Brock, who was on an absolute tear during that Rumble. And then he finishes it by winning the Rumble. It was sort of a light bulb moment of, whoa, this is what they're doing. Now, obviously, they had to set up that match at Chamber, which is cool. And I just thought that it sucked because that was a COVID year. So that was one of the most awkward. It was the worst WrestleManias of all time. But again, it's no one's fault. We were forced to watch WrestleMania at the Performance Center. That is not ideal. So, but the fact that Drew was able to defeat Brock, who seemed indestructible at the time, that they found a guy that basically matched up with him size-wise, and they said, you know what, Drew, we're going to give this to you, run with it. And I just thought that was really cool. So I had to put that on there because, listen, fast forward 6 years later,
Look
Drew
at him.
McIntyre is on top of the world, so I just thought this was special.
That's a good choice.
Well, thank you. Now, let's move to number 4, Des. Who you got?
I've got Becky Lynch for 2019.
Nice.
I wasn't expecting to put her on here, and then I was doing a little bit more research on Rumble wins, and I was like, this is actually an interesting take. And plus, I wanted a woman on the list too. And I look at it this way: it was more of like an underdog arc. She won, and then there was always that storyline with Ronda and Charlotte. And, here comes this little Irish girl who is just trying to get herself to the top, and then she wins, puts herself into this storyline and becomes Becky Two Belts. And she basically elevates herself to be the man. And look at her now. Very similar to the whole Drew thing, where a couple of years ago, they were just, simple mid-card names. And now you can't stop seeing their face now. So it just tells you a really solid Rumble win will elevate you, put you in the right spot, and then extend your career another 5 to 10 years. So I'm going with Miss Becky Lynch.
Love it. I'm actually going to stick in that same year. Kofi Mania. And here's the thing. Listen, Royal Rumble, not necessarily, although, he was kind of just like the mid-carder, if you want to call it that. Elimination Chamber, he stole the show. And he actually got the crowd fully behind him. WWE execs didn't see it coming. And it forced WWE storytellers to say, you know what? We are going to put him in the main event against Daniel Bryan. Obviously, he beat my boy, but it was so worth it. The storyline of everyone was going behind the guy that was quote-unquote a B player to finally have him elevate and win the title in front of his family, celebrating. You talk about a guy that was genuinely just a mid-carder and kind of just floating around. He beat Daniel Bryan for the title. The crowd absolutely loved it. It was organic. It was emotional. It's historic. It's really fun for me to see a guy, I mentioned this prior, like with Chris Benoit, who was sort of the mid-carder, elevated. The fact he did it to Kofi was awesome. And you know what? This gave a voice to the fans because the fans loved him so much in Elimination Chamber. They forced WWE to put him in the main event, so I thought it was brilliant.
So good.
All right, halfway through the countdown, Des, who's your number 3?
Will not be a surprise. It's Shawn Michaels. And it's specifically, 1996. And I feel like this was his year. It solidified him as a main event guy. It really pushed him. And it was like his coronation period. And, because years, before, it's always been Brett, the technical guy. And then here comes this showman who's also very good and technical, but just such a great entertainer and causes a lot of controversy. And here comes Shawn. And he wins, and then it goes on to a really awesome Mania match that we're very familiar with. And I just feel like it just made Shawn more legit as a main eventer. And of course, this was like a transition to the Attitude Era into what we love of who Mr. WrestleMania is. So it was just more or less just building him up. And I will always defend Shawn Michaels. And so, yes, he should be higher, but there's other people that it just makes more sense storyline-wise. But yes, Shawn Michaels.
Okay, love it. Great choice. My number 3, and to me this was special in so many ways. I'm going to go 2010, which set up with Chris Jericho winning the Elimination Chamber, and it would force Shawn Michaels into a retirement match against The Undertaker.
Of course.
I absolutely loved it. I know, and then I also set up Edge versus Chris Jericho in the main event, so they kind of had their match as well. But that storyline, it was the best they could possibly. It was the best thing they could possibly do. Obviously, they had to set up some type of angle for Shawn Michaels to fight Undertaker, so he comes out, causes Undertaker the title, which again kind of just set up that epic match with him slashing his own throat. To this day, we talked about that. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, those matches were the greatest of all time. So I had to put that on there because it was just so special. So it's funny that you mentioned Shawn Michaels, and so did I.
Ah, yes.
All right, we're getting close to the top. Des, who's number 2?
I've talked about her multiple times, but her win at 2021, Bianca Belair. I feel like this is like a true story of Rumble to Mania. And this completely changed her career and the person that she is. And the fact that she wins and then goes against Sasha at Mania, and they have that historical match, amazing match, and then she wins, and then completely catapults her to a completely different level of what she is now. That I just feel like it's just pure perfection. I sound so redundant when I talk about her, but it's just I feel like it's just a storybook. Like, it just makes sense. Like, this is what is supposed to happen when you have a Rumble winner. You build it up. 4 months later, here comes Mania, and a star is born. That's it.
Love it. No, that's a great choice. And look where she is now in her career, and it's been all those years later. So it's funny. Like, there's a theme to this. It seems like people that have been put over during this time, they were on top for a while, or they're currently on top right now.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
All right, my number 2, and you've already mentioned it, it's Cody finishing the story. I mean, listen, back-to-back Rumble wins. You went to that Rumble, so it makes it even more special. Mm-hmm. The Bloodline tightens the grip while Cody's path clears. And look, the ending of WrestleMania 40 was arguably the best endings of all time for any match, especially a Mania match. So that speaks volumes with everyone coming out. I'll YouTube that to this day. Because, and when Cody finally won, again, many of us have been wrestling fans for a long time. We remember we remember his father, Dusty Rhodes. We remember his brother. And the fact that Cody Rhodes is now the greatest Rhodes of all time speaks volumes. I mean, so I thought, and the fact that it was the 40th year of WrestleMania was great. Again, Most people were heartbroken the year prior, myself included. So it was cool to see that redemption story. So I absolutely love this one.
Good choice.
Of course. Now, we're at the top of the ladder, Des. Who's number 1?
I think we all know this. My man, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm going to do a 1A and a 1B, but I'm going to put them all together because it's 98 and 2001. I feel like this should be Wrestling 101. Just the whole character of Stone Cold Steve Austin is just one of a kind. It is exactly what you would want as a character. You fall in love with them. They build, and they're the good guy, but they're also the bad guy, and they just bring pure chaos. And that's exactly what happened at both Rumbles. He's won, and he's a 3-time winner. Good luck trying to beat that. And just to build up with him and The Rock and Vince, and this was the Attitude Era. This was pure magic of wrestling, and this is what we fell in love with. And when we say, hey, this is not the Rumble winner that we want, or this is not the storyline that we want that it should be, this is what we're referring to, because this was so good from start to finish. And it was because not only with how good the chemistry was with everyone, but it was because the crowd was so emotionally involved. Creative went with exactly what they fed off the crowd. It was timing. It was strike while the iron is hot, and that's why it is so impactful. I'm getting goosebumps and chills right now thinking about it, because we got to watch it live, and it was absolutely insane and amazing to watch start to finish. I want everyone to be like this, but I know it's so hard to top, but you can't top Stone Cold.
No, you picked a home run for sure. Two of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. The feuds were amazing. They're really good friends in real life, which is part of the reason why their chemistry is so great. So, yeah, no, absolutely. It just missed the cut for me. There were so many options for this episode. That's why this is a lot of fun. But my number 1, I'm sure you may not be on board, but there's a theme that really stuck with me. It seems like Elimination Chamber is where the fans will actually strongly voice their opinions and can actually get storylines rewritten. So this is going to go to my boy in 2014, the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan.
Shocking.
Yeah, so, look, Royal Rumble, Batista won. I remember watching it. I remember collectively, all of us were like, you got to be kidding me. The funniest thing ever was the next night on Raw. The fans were booing so loud, and Triple H said, did everyone not get what they wanted? And I was laughing because he knew that they messed up. The fans revolted. The fans were on social media. Thank God that everyone was putting their hashtags and everything else. And they had that storyline where a bunch of fans kind of came out and such. They rewrote the wrong. And the fans voiced their opinion so much that they made a triple threat match. WrestleMania 30, the 30th anniversary, Daniel Bryan wins the title. So I just love it because, again, we talked about Kofi, and it's funny now how Kofi ended up fighting Daniel Bryan. Years prior, Daniel Bryan was the originator of letting the fans kind of speak what they want, and it happened. So that's one of the coolest things about this episode. It made me reflect of, hey, listen, especially now, fans have a lot of power. If you dislike storylines, and right now there's a lot of that going on, feel free to voice it because, listen, you can definitely change things. So that's one of the coolest things about the road to WrestleMania is it made me realize that around this time, fans ultimately get the final say. So
they better, or you will hear from them. That's one thing. I say you have two chances for Mania is to knock out that Rumble winner to get like the grand slam of it. If you kind of miss it, you have a second chance at Chamber to give them exactly what they want. So you've got two chances to give us that good Mania. And it's either they get it or they don't. So I'm really hoping they get it this time.
Absolutely. And what are your thoughts on Road to WrestleMania? Feel free to shoot us your countdown or voice your opinions by shooting us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. And like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.